What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and you're looking at the contents of the box of the QCY J11 mono Bluetooth earpiece. Now that's a whole mouthful. It's a product from the company is called QCY, the brand's called QCY, and it's a Chinese brand, and they make all kinds of electronics, and this is one of them. This is actually the first time I have a QCY product in my hand, so I'm actually quite interested to see what is what. Now, what it is actually pretty simple. This is a Bluetooth headset for your phone to make phone calls with. So it's not for listening to music or anything. You have this in one ear, it's a mono speaker, and you make phone calls hands-free that way. You get obviously the headset itself, which we'll get to in a second. You get two additional earpieces. You get sort of an ear brace that you can click onto it, and this goes around your ear so it doesn't fall out. And you get the charging cable, micro USB. Let's start on this end. This is useless, I find, because it is so short. I really don't understand the whole trend with these short charging cables. Other than charging it on your laptop, you really can't use it for anything. Personally, I have a whole battery of wall sockets USB to charge phones, tablets, and everything. And this is just pointless to use with one of those. So unless you're charging on your laptop, this just won't work. These are very handy though, because obviously this sits in your ear, and where this back part is flexible, so it provides a bit of stability in your ear. But if you're walking around on the move, on the go, then this is just a little bit extra security. You click it on the back and this goes around your ear, and that makes sure it doesn't fall out and stays in place. I have to be brutally honest, this is not the nicest plastic in the world. It's pretty stiff as well. So definitely not something that you want to have on for hours on end, because that's definitely going to hurt your ears, or your ear shell rather. Now two different, or two replacement tips that go on the end, like this one right here. So this part goes in your ear, this sits in your ear shell for a bit of extra stability, and that's really it. So let's have a look. What do we have here? This, like I said, is the J11. It has the QCY logo here on the front, and it's shaped a bit like a teardrop. Quite stylish design, very, doesn't stand out at all. Nice and black too. Got the exposed micro USB charging port here. Not really sure if that's a good idea, but I don't really think you'll be using this in the rain much. But it would have been nice to have a little rubber flap here, for example, to cover it up. But this only costs just under $11, so for that kind of price, corners have to be cut. I hope you can see it, but there's a little hole here, which is obviously the microphone hole, and then you have some standard symbols here on the inside, and the piece that goes in your ear. So there's no volume rocker, there's no on-off button or anything. There's just the one button here on the front, and that is all. Give you a few statistics about this before we get to the listening and talking experience. It is only 5.92 grams heavy, so it really weighs next to nothing. It is 36 by 24 by 23 millimeters big, as you can see, compared to my hand or to a pen. It is positively tiny, which is obviously key, because you don't want a giant thing sticking out of your ear. Bluetooth obviously is the case here, and it can actually connect to two devices at the same time. So if you have a work phone and a private phone, for example, this will work just fine. And it has a 55 milliamp hour battery inside, which is obviously very small, especially when you compare it to a smartphone, but it'll still give you a talking time for up to 4 hours. That also depends a little bit on how long you have it on standby and so on. I'd say 3 hours is probably more realistic. So definitely will get you through your commute back and forward to work, maybe 1 or 2 days in a row, or when you're just sitting in the train, whatever, or maybe when you're delivery man and you have this in your ear, you'll be fine throughout the day as far as standby time and talk time goes. When it comes to talk quality, obviously that is the main story here. It is small, it's tiny, so it's not going to give you any kind of boom sound or anything. The sound is acceptable. It won't blow you away, but both on the caller receiver and on your end, the sound is very, very easily good enough to get through a proper conversation. Obviously, you know, when surrounding noises start to pick up, and the call quality will go down significantly. And also depends on your signal a bit, how far away from your phone you are, and so on. You know, you can imagine when you're sitting in a car, for example, which is a metal box in essence, and your phone is in the back, that is going to affect the quality. But overall, you know, it does a pretty good job in what it has to do is just make you able to hands-free have phone calls while you're probably on the go. That said, is this something you should own? I don't know. It really feels a bit like a product that doesn't really have a long lifespan anymore. Especially when you look at all the headsets these days that either come with your phone or Bluetooth headsets even that you buy. Pretty much all of them have inline microphones and a call function. So, you know, when you're listening to music on those anyway, you're probably going to use the call function with those as well. So unless you don't have a pair of that and you only want to make phone calls, you know, this will work for sure. But I don't really see this as a product that will be around for much longer. It does what it needs to do pretty good, so, you know, no complaints there. But I find in my daily life, for example, I have plenty of headphones that I use every day that have that call function built in anyway. So it's a bit of a, you know, an additional device that you need as well. But I can imagine that, for example, this lives in your car and you only turn it on when you're driving and have your phone with you and potentially make phone calls in the car. For that, it's perfect. You know, it takes up no space, weighs nothing, so it's easily something you can put in the armrest of your car, for example, just for that reason. And you know, if you don't have headphones or you don't want to listen to music, I suppose this is a good alternative if you need hands-free phone calls. This was Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the QCY J11 Bluetooth earpiece. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!